Well, I'll be damned. Has a crown. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your reign ends here. It's done. Which means the curse should be broken. Let's see how Talor's doing. With their king dead, I can only hope the TONBERRYs will retreat back to the forest. Come on. To the stables, girl.
Clive! Is it done then?
It is. I was going to ask if there had been any change in Talor's condition, but judging by that smile on your face, I think I already know the answer.
You do? Talor! He's back!
Thank you, my lord. I can never repay you for everything you've done for me. I owe you my life.
I'm just glad the curse is lifted. There is one thing I'd like to know, though. If you don't mind my asking, what made you seek the TONBERRY's help in the first place?
Oh, that, well, you deserve to know. It was years ago now, back in my trading days. The Sons of Greek arrested me in Oriflamme, chained me up in a lightless cell with a great sword hung over my head, ready to fall if I didn't confess. Though they never said to what. I didn't. Of course. So eventually they just let me go. And I never told a soul. Tried to forget it ever happened. But then you came along and the sight of your sword brought it all flooding back. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't hardly breathe, and I thought that if I gave my old chain to the TONBERRYs, maybe they could take all that pain away. All that anger. But it only made it worse.
Oriflamme has fallen, and the men who tortured you likely fell with it.
If only I'd known, I might have spared everyone a lot of trouble. I'd convinced myself that you were like them, that all outsiders were the same, but you're not. Far from it. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Clive, there's something I need to tell you. After we parted ways on the path to the cloak, I went straight back to Talor and explained to him what you were doing on his behalf. And just like that, his pain began to fade.
What do you mean? Just like that? The Tonberry King would have still been alive. I had to contend with dozens of his minions before I found him.
Then perhaps one of them warned him of your coming and he broke off his ritual. Or perhaps knowing that an outsider was fighting for him was what lifted the weight from Talor's heart. I know from experience that many illnesses are not wholly physical, but of the spirit, at least in part.
Was there ever really a curse then? Or was Talor simply suffering from the pain of his memories? And the guilt of what he'd done? For all the difference it makes. I suppose we'll never know.
Maybe not. But this much I do know. It was your strength and your selflessness that healed his heart in the end.
I'll be sure to tell my healer friend when I get home.
Hey, mister, over here. Please, mister, you've got to help us. The village is in danger, and if someone doesn't do something, you should have seen it.
Stop. Take a deep breath and tell me everything. Starting with your name.
Sorry, my name's Eirik. When you went up to the Ereval was with Miss Shula, I followed you.
You could have been killed.
Lady Shula told us you lot were great warriors, so I thought I'd be alright if I stayed close like. But then I lost track of you in the woods, and that's when I saw it.
Saw what?
A great, big, dripping, drooling monster. Spitting out great spouts of water it was, that were tearing up the ground and cutting down trees.
Spouts of water? I don't recall seeing anything like that in the forest.
Well, I did, and I don't ever want to see it again. You'll get rid of it, won't you?
All right. If this creature is as terrible as you claim, it could well pose a threat to the village. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, mister. It was over by the Swift one that I saw it. Maybe it's still there.
Then that's where I'll start my search. But this time, you're going to stay here. Understood?
I wouldn't go through those gates for 1,000 gil. Not with that thing out there. Good luck, though.
I heard the tributary can fell an ibex from 100 paces.
Is that the hunter?
It's you. Nasev's savior.
Are you all right? What happened?
I was tracking an ibex when a great spout of water struck me square in the back. Sent me flying all the way across the clearing.
Did you see what made it?
No. All I heard was a noise. An ear-splitting din.
Might this be the culprit? Leave him to us. You've caused enough trouble. Well, that wasn't too bad. Hardly a threat to the village, but you can't blame the boy for being scared.
You made that look a lot easier than it was.
Do you think that was the beast which attacked you?
That thing? Not a chance. Would have heard it coming a league away. And the blast of water that hit me was beyond anything an Archelon can manage.
Oh. A boy from the village sent me in search of a beast that could conjure such things, but...
That's it. That's the noise I heard. Sounded like it came from the ruins.
I'll go. You head back to Haven and see a healer. Good girl. What do we have here? Found her. Something's been busy. Whatever this creature is, it's out for blood. But it's not having ours. Stay close, Torgal. Where are you? Another fragment of Waleis's rage. I should have known. Time to put you to bed too. Fingers crossed that's the last of them. Either way, I should let Eirik know the danger is past. For now, at least. Come on. Yeah! I can walk from here.
A storm for the air.
How many times do we have to tell you?
You're back.
So? Did you find the fiend that attacked me and young Eirik here?
I did. It won't be troubling you anymore.
Yes. I knew you'd get it.
Only because you warned me of its existence. Not that you should ever have learned of its existence, but all's well that ends well, I suppose.
What was it anyway?
A manifestation of Leviathan's power. When we visited Wallius in the Surge, he was angry and afraid. The Icon summoned these creatures for his protection. Though why one would be wandering the ruins of Riversmeet, I don't know.
Maybe it was looking for his mum. That's where she died, isn't it? The Falls.
The Falls?
Aye. When they took her baby, she threw herself off the top. We go there once a year to pay our respects. The whole village.
An Eggy is a part of its master's spirit, but Wallius wouldn't have been aware of what had happened to his mother, would he?
Well, either way, you did us a favor putting that thing to rest. Us and Wallius. Thank you.
Aye. Thanks, mister.
I heard the tributary can fell an ibex.
And then I dreamed.
You wouldn't happen to have some time on your hands, would you, Clive? Only I was wondering if you might help me with something else.
Don't tell me. Another unruly dominant.
Not quite, but a dangerous foe nonetheless. It promises to be quite a hunt. Care to join me?
All right. Tell me about our quarry.
A fiendish, cold-blooded beast known as a Givra. Normally, we leave such animals well alone, and for good reason. But I have an even better reason to want its tongue.
Its tongue.
If you'll permit me, tributary, I can explain.
Certainly, Yamila.
It's been over a week since me sister gave birth to her first child, yet she still isn't back on her feet. We've tried everything to restore her spirits. Physics and nostrums, the laying on of hands and of leeches, but all to no avail. The healers tell me there's only one hope left. A broth as potent as its ingredients are perilous to procure.
It isn't only Yamila's sister who stands to benefit from this, by the way. There's her baby to think of, and Walias, too. She'd agreed to be his wet nurse, you see.
I'd be glad to help.
Thank you. Our hunters have no shortage of skill, but this task calls for more than that. And it won't be achieved through weight of numbers either. The Givra is as wary a foe as it is a deadly one. 2 hunters might catch it unawares, but any more than that, and it would pick up our scent a league away.
Then it is decided. The 2 of you will go, while Jill and I occupy ourselves here.
Perhaps we might help prepare the broth.
That would be most kind of you.
Come then, Clive. The river of time flows fast, and so must we. There's a Givra that has claimed the ruins at the foot of the mountain as its hunting ground. But as I say, they are wary creatures. We'll need suitable bait to draw it out. The flesh of a forest ibex should suffice.
To the forest, then.
There's nothing a Givra loves more than a fat haunch of ibex.
There speaks the voice of experience. Do you hunt often?
Since I was a girl, my father would take me. Then after he returned to the sea, Yamila's father. Our families have always been close. Even if her sister wasn't Walias's wet nurse, I couldn't stand by and watch her suffer.
And then I dreamed.
My lord, might I have a moment of your time? I would beg of you a service.
Certainly. What is it?
It's a long story. But before we get to that, would I be right in thinking Lady Shula told you about the witch from the north?
Yes. She said that your ancestors found her here, and that it was she who taught them the spell to stop time. She was like Walias, you know. A dominant. The Warden of Ice.
My great-grandmother suspected as much. She cared for the poor woman when the end was near. And it was she whose duty it became to attend her grave. A duty that was passed down to me.
I see. And the service you would beg of me?
Well, until recently, the path to the grave had long been blocked by a fallen tree. But when our woodsmen finally found time to move it, we quickly realized it might have been better had they not. On trying to clear the rest of the path, you see, we discovered that a flock of bloodthirsty beasts had claimed the cliffs beyond. None of us was a match for them. But you, my lord, have proven your strength many times over. Would you drive them away for us?
Of course. I'll see the path is made safe.
Thank you, my lord. The grave is in a place called Witch Drop. To reach it, one must turn left at the Winged Wains, then follow the path around to the right, deep into the forest.
Why so far from Haven?
It was where she lived. When our ancestors first came to Mysidia, they found her there, in an old abandoned village, and it was her heartfelt wish to return there in death. So when she passed away, my great-grandmother had a stone erected for her on the cliffs overlooking the place she once called home.
How thoughtful. Well then, no time like the present. Left at the ships, then round to the right, you said.
Just so. Thank you once again, my lord. I will join you at the grave anon.
And what about the walls?
Where will we find them?
Further in.
These will do nicely. Return to the sea, and to the clouds rise again.
We have our bait then. What next?
Next, we pay a visit to the Dark Gate to pick some local weed. It'll help disguise our scent. There should be a sprig or two of local weed growing somewhere around here. Look for the golden leaves.
Is this it?
Aye, that's the stuff. Crush the leaves between your fingertips and rub them on your clothes.
If you insist. You could have warned me about the smell.
Like corruption, isn't it? We'll have an honor guard of flies before long. But it'll stop the Givra from noticing us. Its nose will tell it we're nothing but a feast for worms.
Oh, I feel so much better.
We can wash it off afterwards. If there's one good thing about the Givra choosing the ruins for its hunting ground, it's that there's plenty of fresh water nearby.
Where should we lay the bait?
Givras are creatures of habit. Look for some sign of its passing. It's sure to return to the same place sooner or later.
A fresh kill.
But not a Givras. The wounds are too clean, too small.
Is that beast ringing? and only Haven's blacksmith that has an appetite for these things. Come on. This should be the path to Witchdrop. Hungry, Toggle. And here's our welcoming party. Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave?